Far out on the edge of a quiet forest sits the Emerald Meadow. It's an idyllic, sun-drenched pasture where a flock of sheep spend their days grazing, watched over by a shepherd who keeps them safe from the dangers of the woods. But the meadow isn't just guarded by one man. He employs two strong, sharp-toothed dogs who maintain constant vigilance, always alert and always ready to drive off anything that doesn't belong. Deep inside the dark bushes, a hungry wolf watches. He's been stalking the flock for days, but every time he tries to sneak closer, the dogs detect his scent and force him back into the shadows. Brute force is useless against a defense this well prepared. If the wolf is ever going to catch a meal, he has to stop trying to outrun the dogs and start trying to fool them. That opportunity arrives the next morning. While wandering the edge of the meadow, the wolf finds a dry, discarded sheepskin tangled in the tall grass. He realizes that the shepherd and the dogs judge friend from foe by sight alone. If he can match the texture and shape of the flock, the guards will stop seeing a predator and start seeing just another member of the group. The transformation is physically grueling. The wolf has to wedge his large frame inside the scratchy, restrictive pelt, carefully tucking away his gray fur until every inch of his predatory nature is covered in wool. To make the disguise work, he has to suppress his every instinct. He forces himself to walk with a gentle, slow gait, mimicking the quiet movements of a young lamb to ensure no one suspects the killer hiding underneath. From a distance, he is indistinguishable from the rest. His exterior signals total innocence, while inside he remains the same cunning, hungry wolf, waiting for the sun to go down. As evening arrives, the flock begins their return to the fold. The disguised wolf stays calm, walking right alongside the others as they approach the wooden gate where the guards are waiting. The trick works. The dogs don't growl, and the shepherd counts his sheep, 1, 2, 3, completely unaware that he is locking a predator inside the pen with the rest of his flock. In the deep silence of the night, once the meadow is asleep, the wolf sheds his disguise and strikes. He chooses a sheep, makes his kill, and feeds in total secrecy. By morning, one sheep is missing. The shepherd is confused, but the wolf simply stands still in his wool pelt, acting innocent and blending in so perfectly that he evades all suspicion. The ease of the crime makes the wolf arrogant. He decides the trick is foolproof and plans to use the disguise to take an even larger portion of the flock the following night. Successfully getting away with a lie creates a dangerous sense of security. It blinds the deceiver to just how quickly a lucky situation can turn into a deadly one. Just as the second night grows still, a loud, heavy knocking shatters the silence, echoing off the wooden gate of the shepherd's hut. 3 of the king's soldiers have arrived in the dead of night. They've been hunting in the forest all day with no luck, and they are starving for a feast. They offer to buy the fattest sheep for their dinner. The shepherd, honoring his duty to guests, agrees immediately and heads toward the fold to make his selection. Inside the pen, the wolf listens as the gate creaks open. Panic sets in as he realizes the situation has suddenly shifted completely out of his control. The very disguise he used to hide himself has now made him the primary target. By successfully looking like the best sheep in the flock, he has unknowingly volunteered for the slaughter. The shepherd enters the pitch-black fold, armed with a knife. Because he can't see in the dark, he has to reach out and feel the sheep one by one to find the heaviest animal. The wolf stays as still as a stone. He tries not to breathe, hoping that if he remains unremarkable and motionless, the shepherd's hands will pass over him and find someone else. The shepherd's hand finds the thick wool, grabs hold, and begins dragging the wolf toward the campfire where the soldiers are waiting with their blades. The wolf is caught in an impossible choice. If he maintains the lie, he dies by the shepherd's knife. If he reveals himself, he'll have to face the soldiers and the dogs. Terror finally overrides his cunning. To avoid the blade, the wolf shatters his own disguise, howling out his true identity and begging for his life as he's dragged into the light. The shepherd and the soldiers jump back in shock as the sheep they were about to eat suddenly transforms into a panicked predator right before their eyes. In the chaos, the wolf struggles free, shedding the heavy sheepskin and sprinting toward the forest as fast as his legs can carry him. The dogs chase him deep into the woods. The stolen skin is left behind in the dirt, and the meadow is finally returned to a state of true safety. Trying to be something you are not will eventually lock you into a trap of your own making. Honesty remains the safest path, because the tricks we use to fool others often become the very things that lead us to our own ruin.